What is color dominance? Well, let's look at this sample. On the top section, the dark checks appear to be a little more prominent than the white checks, and on the bottom, the white checks are more prominent. If I look at the back, you can see that the white is more prominent on the back here, where the dark is more prominent on the front, and on the back here, the dark is prominent on the bottom, and the light is prominent on the bottom. So that's what yarn color dominance is. How do you make it happen? Well, you want your featured yarn to be usually held on your left and your background yarn to be held on your right. This isn't the same for everybody, so you'd want to make a swatch and check, but that's generally how it works. Usually, if you handle your yarn that way, that means that the one from your left is coming up a little further because it's riding underneath, and it takes a little more yarn to get up to the needle to make your stitch, which makes your stitch just a little bit taller and therefore a little bit bigger. The right color, at least for the way I knit, rides up closer to the needle. And if you look at the back of this knitting, you can see that the dark color is right next to the needle, and the light color is riding under the dark color. Again, that light color then would be traveling a little further to make it up to the needle. You can manage your yarn any way you want, but for me, let's see, we need 3 of these. You can just leave them on each side of you and knit with your colors, as long as you put it back where you got it. So that one's on the left, and then I pick up the one on the right, and I knit with those. And that means that it's going to be closer to the needle. So the dark is being carried closer, and the light is being carried further away. You can also carry your yarn in 2 hands if you want to. Let's find my yarn here. And this would have the same result. So here's picking off that hand. And then the dark color from the other side. Again, the same result. The dark is closer to the needle and the light is further away. You can also carry both yarns in your left hand or both yarns in your right hand. Let's see one more example of color dominance. Here's a little wristlet I was knitting, and at the beginning of it, I made the dark color in these vertical stripes be the dominant color. So I was holding that on my left. And in this upper section, I made the silver color be the dominant color. That meant I was holding the silver on the left and the pink on the right. You can use this to your advantage. If you have a lot of contrast in your yarn and it's a little too poppy, then make the less bright color your dominant color. If you don't have a lot of contrast in your yarns, you might choose to carry the lighter color in your left hand and the darker color in your right to make the most of that color dominance and make that lighter color pop. It's your knitting and you are the boss.